Alright, hello everyone, my name is Shep, welcome back to the Butcher's Circus, and today I'm going to be playing against Rat, and this is someone that a good amount of you might be familiar with, because this is one of the coolest persons from actually Shuffle's Discord server. It's Rat and Comrade that I know the most from on there, so I'm going to be playing against Rat today. We just met in the ladder randomly. He's going to be playing in the tournament tomorrow, so I will be expecting his performance. So what am I playing today? Well, today is quite an interesting video because I'm playing with a very odd Chef Stress, but I'm gonna start off with a Beast Pile here. So you can tell already this is an extremely odd Chef Stress because just look at the trinkets. I have an Abomination in position 2 with Spiked Chain, so that's really odd. I have a Flagellant with Reclaim, which is really odd. I have a Man at Arms with Snuff, which is really odd. And I have a doggy with a tattered CHEWTOY, which is even more odd. This is the most odd thing there is of them all so far. So it looks like my opponent does not like my Flagellant, and that's fine. You can dislike my Flagellant, I don't really mind it all that much. But I will be forced to just do this to make sure that you don't push it too far here. Of course, that sucks not having command buff, and of course I will have to go Hansari into a duelist advance without even having a command buff. Oh my goodness, look at the damage. I do the exact same damage on my riposte as you do on your duelist advance. Yeah, that's pretty nutty. And that was a high roll with the duelist advance, by the way. That was really freaking cool. Okay, in terms of how this match is actually going, there's a few things I have to decide right now, because this isn't as I wouldn't say brain dead, but it isn't as straightforward as it usually is with my Chef Stresses. So this is a bit unfortunate. I'm thinking of actually going for a guard here, but I'm just going to click to Reclaim right now. The reason I was thinking of going for guards is because if the Arbals decides to shoot me right now and gets a crit for 26, I would be absolutely fuming. But thankfully she doesn't get a crit for 26, so I do stay alive, and now I might still go for the guards, fearing the finale. I mean, it does 7 to 13 damage, so I highly doubt a finale being a thing right now. But my accuracy sucks anyway, so I'm just gonna drop the card regardless, because there's really nothing better for me to do. So Shep, why are you playing Chef Stress in such an odd manner today? Well, the reason I'm doing this, oh wow, even into the guard. Sadly I don't get a repulse on it, but you know, such is with the Butcher's Circus. And now I am going to drop a command buff, but why am I doing such a thing? Well, you might know Father Nicholas. I've played against him a few fair times, and he's made a few really cool videos recently. I'm just experimenting with stuff in the Butcher's Circus. And yesterday he made a really cool video about the Tattered CHEWTOY. Well, not really about the Tattered CHEWTOY, but the maximum amount of regen you could have. It ended up going into the hundreds, so definitely check that video out if you haven't. It is really quite cool. And he has Tattered CHEWTOY in it, and in that video he kind of mocks me because of a video I did actually like 6 months ago. It was a long time ago. Basically what happened was the Butcher's Circus sort of went down for a couple days, so that was really unfortunate, but after that happened, let's hope there's no crit riposte here, by the way. Now that still hurts, but at least it's no crit riposte. And after that happened, I was sort of forced to make different sorts of videos when the Butcher's Circus was down in like December last year. And because of that, I ended up making a video sort of just giving my thoughts on literally every single trinket in the circus and how I would change it. And after I did such a thing, or while doing such a thing, I gave my thoughts on Tattered CHEWTOY, why I thought it was a C-tier trinket, why I thought it kind of needed a buff. And the buff, this is the part that's actually the funny part, the buff that I gave it was +2 max HP. So it is definitely one of the most interesting buffs I could have given it, because it doesn't really address trinkets flaws in any way. It just gives you +2 max HP, and to anyone that enjoys this trinket, they'll be like, okay, thanks, but it's still trash, right? It's still pretty trashy. I would say so. Now, I will say, healing for 20 with the redeem is actually pretty cool. And yeah, Father Nicholas just challenged me at the end too. Come on, Shep, play with Tattered CHEWTOY. It's so freaking cool. Didn't you just see we like Didn't you just see we got an amazing, what was it, so like crit, insane amounts of region. I'm not gonna spoil how much it was, but you can believe me, it was insane, just absolutely insane. Okay, at this point I'm just gonna transform here. I can't go for a beast bile, even though I have repulse, because the repulse will bring me down to this store and then the jester will kill me. The jester can't actually hit my doggy right now unless he uses finale, so that's something to consider here. And I'm gonna go for a rage onto the jester. If he wants to use finale on my doggy at this point in time, I think that's perfectly okay for me. But no, he's just gonna go for the Dirk Snap onto my Abomination and put me in a pretty rough spot. Oh, they have Vendetta for the death blow. Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, I'm going to click here, and whatever I do, it feels terrible. Whatever I do feels terrible. Yes, it really does. Maybe I should have gone for a stun on the Jester. This is such a weird way of playing Chef Stress, and you might be wondering, well, why didn't you just change out the Trinket and play the team the exact same way? Well, because then it would be kind of a bad team. Just changing out the Trinket wouldn't really make much sense, because I kind of need the monkey spawn to have that chance of, please survive, please survive, please survive. Oh, thank goodness. Yeah, I kind of need that monkey spawn to make sure that if my opponent does decide to go for a pull, that at least there's a chance that I dodge it or that I resist it, and then the Abomination that usually starts in position 3 will be fine and won't go to position 4. It's not the end of the world if he goes to position 4, but it's still really freaking annoying. So I would rather not have that happen. I crit for 12 here, that could make a difference against the Arbalest, but I mean, I honestly doubt it. Honestly doubt it. So in terms of actually adapting, I made it so since this time I was expecting being pulled, the Abomination has been put in second. And there's another crit Arbalest sniper shot, that's fine, I guess. I was gonna go down to 0 anyway, so it just doesn't really make that much of a difference, honestly, not really. And now I'm given a little bit of a choice. The thing is, if I let go of the guard here, there's just gonna be a launch into a finale, and I'm gonna be forced to heal, which I kinda don't want to do, let's be honest. So I'm just gonna keep guarding. It's a really weird place to be put in, but in terms of how I was thinking of this team, since I'm not gonna be slamming the Abomination because I don't want to put him in position 1, I just decided, you know what, I'll just be Spile, transform Rage, and do that sort of stuff. And there's another crit. You know, I've played this team in the past. I like this team that my opponent is playing. This is the aggressive Grave Robber team. I genuinely like it. When I play it, I don't get this many crits. How are you this lucky? How are you this freaking lucky to get all these crits? Well, as I say that, of course, I get a crit punish for 40 stress onto the Jester. Yeah, that's a fair bit. That is a fair bit. Sadly here my Abomination is dead. Even if he doesn't die right now, he would die right after, and it's just unfortunate, but such is the way of the Butcher's Circus, and right now I've been put in really quite a predicament, because I can get out of this store, but I really need to get rid of this Chester, no matter what. No matter what, right? Oh man, the hit chances suck. Oh, the hit chances suck so much. Oh, but if I don't do it, it's just gonna be worse, because then she's gonna shoot me and I'm dead anyway to the Vendetta. I'm gonna go, oh, the 63, you know, I used to play with Attack Whistle and just ignore the 15 dodge from Monkey's Paw. I really wish I had Attack Whistle right about now, it would be really nice. Please, Vendetta, don't get the kill. Make me be lucky twice. Okay, no lucky twice, but it's fine. I still have a massive advantage here, which is the fact that I need to get this skill right now. Yes! There we go! Okay. This is the turning point. This is the turning point. Shep, why is this a turning point? Well, as long as Rat forgets to use Panic Darts, my Man at Arms is pretty much unkillable here, and you cannot break the guard. So I just need to keep guarding, keep using Reclaims, and everything will be okay. Now, they're gonna go for the Shadow Fade immediately, which I think is a bad play. I think they should just start spamming Panic Darts like yesterday, but they decide against it, and now I'm gonna start using Bell Buffer 2 to try and debuff their damage a little bit and get them a tiny touch closer to the Afflictions. I have dealt a significant amount of collateral damage, but sadly I do not have Ring of Stars at this team, which, you know, sadly, but at the same time it's also really good because I can use Reclaim if I do lose too much HP, and then I'll still be able to use my Redeems and all that. So overall it is good. Now, you do need to keep in mind that if I use my flash on turn early here, she can break through the guard because she does have cloak and daggers, so I have to be quite careful right now. You know what would be really nice, and I mean really nice, if the Man-at-Arms guard wasn't bugged, because when you guard, you see those buffs you give to a character. You're not supposed to get rid of the buffs when you guard again, because when you guard with the doggy, the buffs that you actually give to the character, like minus 70% stress taken while guarded and plus 50% debuff resistance while guarded, if you guard again, those buffs stack. You know, buffs add on to each other. They don't get removed and then added immediately again. This ability doesn't give buffs. It says buff target, but what it actually does is remove the buff from the target and then add it again. So you can't actually stack protection on guarded characters, which is really annoying actually, believe it or not. Really freaking annoying. Because now I'm stuck at 40% protection. I'm gonna have a chance of dying. There's literally nothing I can do about it. I just have to accept that I might die right now because there's gonna be a lunge into a grape shot blast and there's nothing I can do about it. If I had the protection there, of course it gets a crit on it again. If I had the protection there, maybe I would have been able to survive, but you know, it's just really unfortunate. And now the grape shot blast is gonna be a death blow, and it is sadly over for the Shepherd Doggy. It's just so unfortunate. It really is, because if I still had the flash on here, it would be an easy win. But you know, you win some and you lose some. I feel like regular Shep Stress would have been able to win this in comparison to this team, but all this I didn't even explain the trinket changes. I brought Exotic Snuff onto the Man-at-Arms instead of Eerie Eye or instead of Numbing Instance, because if you put the Flatulent and the Abomination positions 1 and 2, there's a very serious risk that your position 3 character gets pulled and then you can't slam with the Abomination. And worse than that, after that your position 4 character is gonna get pulled, and then things get really dicey because that's 2 characters being disrupted at the same time. So you really don't want to see that happen. And yeah, now with the panic turrets, you know, I could try, but I'm just about to go afflicted as they are. They're pretty much biting me down to 0. So it is unfortunate. I was really close to winning that match, but sadly, fate would not have it that way. Highman goes paranoid, and I lose the match, but it's fine. You know, Tattered CHEWTOY, we got Tattered CHEWTOY value, right? I crit healed myself for like 16. No, I crit healed myself for like 12, and that totally saved me from the Arbor Sniper shot. Yeah, totally saved me. That healing received, healing for 20 instead of, what, like 18? With the redeem onto the Houndmaster, totally saved me from the crit 26 sniper shot. Yeah, it was such a useful trinket, really, and I kept using it. The plus healing received, the plus restoration duration, but it still was useless. It was still useless. It's just not a good trinket. The only reason you'd ever be able to use this is if you gave yourself plus max HP, then maybe the redeem heals would actually be more meaningful, and maybe that plus healing could make a difference if you get like a crit heal and then you'll have lots more max HP or whatever. So that's why I thought plus 2 max HP would be a decent change onto this trinket, but you really shouldn't try and use it for the healing it has currently. The only reason you'd use it is to run it with Brass Bugle and just try to guard and clear insane amounts of stress, or you just run it with Padded Arm Guard so your guard lasts for longer and then you clear insane amounts of stress as well. This trinket honestly just sucks, so let's go on for a second match with it. Alright, and here we go straight into a match number 2 with a little bit of a different setup this time around. So if I did forget to say, definitely make sure to check the description. The link to Father Nicholas's video will be there. It's a really cool edited video, so definitely check it out. And right now I have a different setup. So this time I have the regular Shep Stress setup, except the Houndmaster is going to be less of a Hound's Harry bot, and he's going to be... Oh, jeez, that's a horrible start. Oh my goodness, into both 20 dodges. Goes for the Harvest, terrible hit chances, and gets every bleed and every blight. Oh my god. Okay, let's not lose our focus here. In terms of how I want this match to go, well, what the doggy is now doing is that he has the Padded Arm Guard and he has the Tattered CHEWTOY, so he's more of a defensive character. And if you run against a stress team, then you can guard someone, pretty much make yourself a dodge tank, you can make that person you're guarding sort of immune to stress, and you can clear stress on everyone, so it is pretty decent. But in terms of having a Houndmaster here compared to having a Musketeer, which is the Immortal Musketeer, which is what you usually bring when you want to be defensive in a stress team like this, I would have to say, even though this is gonna stress heal for way more than the Musketeer, because it starts at 15, it goes up to 23, it's pretty nutty. It is pretty nutty if it does work. Did you really just slam my Abomination with move resistance? Jesus Christ, this person, this person. Well, it's gonna be really difficult to play this then, but okay, we'll do it, we'll manage. Let's not preoccupy ourselves. So yeah, the reason I don't actually think this is a viable strategy, even with the Tattered CHEWTOY, even if you run against the stress team, because if you don't run against the stress team, we just saw how nearly useless it was. But even if you do run against the stress team, it would be so much better to have Wrenching Shot, because all that Cry Havoc does is clear stress. All that you can do is guard the character. You can't heal characters. You can't do anything else for them. You really need to heal characters if you want to be a support. I guess you can get away with it if your heals are, I mean, if your buffs are really good. But the buff really isn't that good. It's just clear stress. It doesn't give you minus stress taken. It doesn't give you accuracy on top like the Musketeer. It doesn't clear any stuns or any debuffs or anything it likes. It's just really kind of meh. Which is why I also suggested a change for it. So here we go, another change that I suggested. What crazy wacky thing did I suggest for the for the Cry Havoc? Did I suggest give it minus another 2 minus stress removed? Is that what I suggested? No, I actually give it a really cool buff. What I suggested for it is you actually give a party-wide buff of plus 1% crit permanent. So you give yourself, this is a spammable ability that gives you plus 1% crit each and every time you use it. Now, can you imagine that? Of course, in most matches that last like 6 to 7 rounds, it's not going to be all that useful. You're going to be using a stress clearing ability, and if you're running against a stress team, then sure, it's gonna be fine. But if you're not running against a stress team, then you're giving yourself 1% crit, which isn't very nice in the long run if you can do it multiple times. But the important word here is if, and I'm telling you, if you run a team like this, you're not gonna be able to survive long enough to drop enough Cry Havocs to make that plus 1% crit work. But if you manage to somehow play with an Immortal team that's good enough, and you can stack this up hard enough, if you have like, let's say like 6 of these buffs, just 6, not something crazy like 20 or anything like that. If you have just 6 of them, things are gonna become really, really good for you, because your AoE abilities, especially, your single target abilities get like relatively a bit more crit chance. Who cares about an extra 6? But that's basically the same as having 1.5 command buffs permanently, and on AoE abilities it feels really freaking good, because that's plus 6% crit chance on you, on you, on you, and on you, with the quad ability. So it would actually be really, really freaking cool to have. As a countermeasure, I made Invigorating Vapors give you minus 1% crits received chance. So if you want to have the Antiquarian and Houndmaster and sort of like be the master of the crit chances, if you want to master the dice and have the Ring Mommy on your side, you could sort of do that if you really, really wanted to. So I found that to be quite fun. I don't think it got a lot of traction, since I didn't see too many people talking about it or making memes about it like they did with the plus 2 max HP from the Tattered CHEWTOY, but I still stand by my idea. I don't think it would be atrocious enough that people are going to be playing Immortal teams every single match like they do with Immortal Musketeer, the people that actually play that team. So I don't think it would be as horrendous to play against, because everyone knows it feels horrendous to play against Immortal Musketeer. So it really is kind of a problem with the meta, is that if you make these defensive teams too good, then the game is not going to be fun, because not everyone wants to sit around for 25 rounds to actually finish a match. Not even the most hardcore Butcher Circus players want to do that. People just want to play like 8 rounds and then, you know, final 2v2, very cool, going on up to like 15 to 20 rounds. Like that's what a really cool match feels like. Not being 4 characters versus 4 characters and just being an absolute slugfest for 20 plus rounds. So I'm really, really hoping I don't see that in the tournament tomorrow. Oh, and having to commentate over Immortal Musketeer matches is just so painful. Thankfully for me, I don't think I've had to commentate on Immortal Musketeer versus Immortal Musketeer. Or did I? No, I did have to commentate on that actually. Oh, it was so atrocious. I remember that the most exciting thing that would ever happen is the Abomination transforming. Because that's your ability with the limited uses and the one that actually makes things happen. Because you go for a slam, you can actually guard break. And what ended up happening is one person used up their transforms too early, and since they used them too early, what would happen after 40 rounds is that the other person would just transform at round 40, go for a big rage, and then they would have more max HP than you. And because that was always a threat, the person, let's say the person on the left that had already used up the transformations, had to start playing increasingly risky by like round 30. And by playing that risky, they gave themselves a chance of victory, but ended up not being able to, and their characters just ended up dying, and then they lost the match. So, you know, it was kind of exciting there at the end, but it took a really long time to get that far. Now, in terms of how this match is going, this has just been not a slugfest, but an absolute DOT fest with how this is going. It's just both of us spamming DOT abilities into one another, which I guess is pretty fun. I think I will be able to win here unless my Flagellant gets finale'd, so I hope that doesn't happen. If my Flagellant does get finale'd, the Man at Arms is dead. Doggy might survive actually, the Tattered CHEWTOY might make a difference here. It would be really nice to make Tattered CHEWTOY actually a good trinket, and not just give it plus 2 max HP. I'm not entirely sure on how I'd fix it, because the plus healing received is good, it makes you heal for 6 instead of 5, but I mean 5 and 6 are still both really small heals, and the grand majority of the time it's not going to make a difference, so it's saddening, but such is the way of the Winter Circus, I guess. And I think I'm gonna have to pray on the Bellow debuff here, the Bellow debuff and the Irrational and the 30 prod, because I don't want to click my doggy right now. I don't think that would be too wise. What did you get, Fearful? Oh, no, this is actually the play. Watch this, I'm gonna go for the guard on the Man at Arms here, and I'm gonna pray that the Antiquarian being at this store with Irrational and me having 60 prot, she does 0 damage with her Festering Vapors, and I'm also going to pray that the Houndmaster does 0 damage as well, because he went Fearful plus Death's Door, plus 60 prot and 30 prot on the Houndmaster. It should be nigh impossible for these characters to actually do damage to my side, which is really what would feel quite terrible here. And she did do damage to the Houndmaster. So maybe I have to get a Bella debuff in there if I want to survive, but overall pretty good outcome. Having 0 damage dealt to the Man at Arms means that he's probably going to survive for longer. I'm mostly scared of the Antiquarian because she does have this finisher, so it will be a bit rough to deal with. Please do not get a stun there, that would be absolutely ridiculous. And right now I have a few choices. Either I heal or I transform. I'm actually going to transform here, but no, Shep, your Absolution heal, you could have healed, you aren't even gonna DOT down to 0. Well, why do I transform? If I don't transform, I might not be able to transform, and if I do transform, these characters are essentially dead. So I think I'm better off just going for the transformation here, praying that I survive, and then going for something else, but honestly I don't think I even have time to do that. I really have to save the Flashlight here, because he's kind of in this a spot that he can be finale right now. I mean, it's 13 to 22. But I want to risk it on the 13 to 22. They don't have a crit buff, so there's a pretty decent chance that they don't get it. It's so tricky. It's so tricky. I could also just heal. I could also just drop a redeem. Yeah, I do drop enough HP. That might actually be the play here. I could also go for Rain of Stars, but that's honestly way too greedy. So I'm actually gonna go for a very preemptive redeem here, just to keep my Flagellant alive, because I think what I need to do is just survive for like 2 turns, and then everything will become much better for me. Because these backline characters will be gone, and then it's just gonna be these two, and if he drops the finale, then it's pretty much just one character, because he's gonna die in like 2 turns after. So yeah, she's doing 0 damage, so thankfully for me, she can't really kill my characters too well. That was the doggy. Wow, did he survive he survived the Antiquarian? No, it was against the Houndmaster. Yeah. Okay, they can't hit me there, but they can't hit me here. I went afflicted, so I'm detransformed already, but that's fine at this point. It doesn't really matter too much, I don't think. And I could go for a command buff here. How many oh crap, my accuracy sucks. My accuracy does suck. You know what? With the amount of dodge they have... Ah, fine, let's command buff. Let's command buff. It sucks, I really wanted to drop a bell there with the Pit Fighter Salmon Eerie Eye, because getting the debuffs on there would be amazing, but I feel like I kind of need to drop a command buff just to kill the characters with the extra stress that I might get. I think it's overall just a touch better. So they're gonna go for the manacles right now. Do they get it? No, they don't. Nor did they get the kill. I don't know why they haven't transformed again. Maybe they're saving it. It would appear they're saving it. And yeah, even with the command buff, my hit chances suck. But with the command buff, look at that. That is awesome. That's -1 character for you. And the doggy is pretty much dead as well. Yeah, he has too much DOT on him. He's pretty much dead to stress. Do I get extra stress on anyone? Wow, no one. I mean, I did get 2 crits, so I can't really complain, but... Or did I only get 1 crit? 2... No, I only got 1 crit. But you know, 1 crit and a death blow, I really cannot complain. And there's gonna be a Dark Slam now, that's fine. Well, that's actually really fine for me, because I can slam this Abomination to the back. Oh, no, never mind, I've transformed already. Haha, Shep, you should have healed, you dummy. No, I wouldn't be fine here regardless. Oh, actually, no, maybe. I mean, I'd be transforming and moving forward right now. So, yeah, it would pretty much end up being the same thing. So, I think at this point we just stun the Jester and just try to keep him stunned for a little bit. I could have gone for a Beast Smile there. But I think just getting rid of the Jester turns overall gonna be a touch better here. I think that their doggy is dead already to like another Hanseri or something like that. And I might not get that Hanseri, let's be honest. I might not get that Hanseri, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. This is actually gonna be really close. Closer than I expected. Maybe I should have dropped it with that Beast Smile there. Maybe I should be taking this more seriously, because now my doggy is dead, as expected. So it's... Oh no, their doggy isn't quite dead. No, you really should have gone for the Beast Smile, shouldn't I? Oh, jeez. Okay, let's go for the self-heal here. What afflictions do they have? Irrational, fearful. Fearful, no passes, nice. And they're about to get one with the Jester right now. I really need to get rid of this Jester now. I'm just gonna start spamming, Punish on him. I really need that to happen. If I kill the Jester, the Abomination might be strong. He still has 1 transformation, which is really important for my Flagellant right now. Oh, please don't get the slam. I know it's a 95, but please don't get the slam. My opponent's actually really smart. I will say they got insanely lucky at the start of like the double harvest, into the push on my on my Abomination, but I still think that they're playing this quite well, saving the transformation for this, and oh Jesus, they get abusive? You're kidding me? They get abusive? God damn it, okay. There's a few things that need doing, but this is what needs doing most. Okay, Selfish, thank you for not being a dummy. Oh, that crit is juicy. That means that the stun chance is actually an 80. And that also means a little bit more stress. Sadly, no act outs from the abusive. I really need act outs because he's not taking enough stress. Please an act out or something. Self-hit. Sure, it's nice, but he's not taking enough stress. And no, not another slam. And I'm going to this store, why not? Yes, I am. But, oh, my freaking command turns. I hate this so much. I can't do anything about it. He's just transformed. There's nothing I can do. Well, I just have to move forward here. And pray that they don't get 20% death blow right now. Please, Fearful, do something bad. I mean, it's really unlikely they get the death blow because Fearful, Death's Door, and 10 Prot, I really don't think they'll do damage here. And yeah, that's 0, so that's really helpful for me. Also a dodge, okay, that's actually amazing. And I still have my command buff turn. And they are actually... They are actually at 25 here. Redeems before exsanguinate, he says. It's my hit chance. Oh. I want to go for it so bad. Okay, let's think. Do I still have absolutions? Oh, let me click, you dummy! Let me click. Can I click? I can't see! I still have absolutions. Maybe I don't actually, I'm not sure. But if I drop the redeem here... I have to drop the exsanguinate. I need to get a kill on this Jester here. I need to take him out somehow. If I don't take him out, I don't win this match. I need to get a death blow on him either with that or with the manacles. Now, what are they gonna do? Are they gonna go aggressive? I think that what they could do here is maybe go for a guard. I know it's crazy, but they could maybe go for a guard. But oh, they're gonna go for a stun on my Abomination. That's so smart. They're gonna go for a stun on the Abomination now, and what that does is doesn't bring me quite to this door, but it makes it so I can't stun their Jester, so they're actually free to do whatever they want. How many buffs do they have? Oh, that's a fair bit. They have abusive, so it's plus damage. So it is almost countering the Death Star debuff. I thought they would go for the Hansari to just do enough damage and then drop the finale, but they do not have Hansari, so they can't actually do that. Oh, that's really good. Oh, that's really good. Once he gets to position 3, I can actually just manacles him and he's dead. As long as I don't get too unlucky. They're still gonna go for the finale. That's a misplay. That is the misplay of the century right there. I think that's gonna lose them the match right now. I think that is gonna lose them the match. Manacles here is a kill, isn't it? 4 to 8. Do not screw me over. Yeah. There we go. Oh, that is so clutch. That is so clutch. How much damage is 4 finale buffs? Now, considering it's 14 to 25 with 3, and it's 16 to 28 with 4, I'd say between the Death Sword debuffs and the abusive, let's imagine that the damage stays the exact same, but with the protection, it would go from 16 to 28 to like 14. Yeah, probably like 14 to 25, back to 14 to 25, and they did 18, which is like an average roll. I had 24 HP. They were really greedy to go for such a move. Right now I have a few options, and a few of these options imply healing. A few of these options imply being aggressive. I do get to go first. But I will drop the redeem here on the Abomination. That is gonna daze me, which is a bit unfortunate, but I do think this is the best move right now. Just to give myself a little bit of HP to make sure that the Manacles doesn't do anything too funny, and to make sure that the Abomination survives. I would much rather have 2 characters than 1 at this point, so I'm gonna do that. And oh, the abusive really hurts, doesn't it? It really freaking hurts. And he gets the Hemlock Light on it as well, but I do stay alive here, so it's fine. Was that my final redeem? Yes, it was. It was my final redeem, so that's unfortunate, but such is the way of the Butcher's Circus. They're gonna go for a stun here. Did they get to 45? They do get to 45. Okay. That's 2 stuns. It's fine. This Abomination with no stun trinkets is stunning me until forever, but we'll live. We'll live. And now what does this Chester want to do? He can hit the Flagellum to bring him down to 0. Or he can hit the Abomination to bring him down to 0, but he's going down to 0 anyway, so it's a bit of a weird spot to be put in. If he does hit my Flagellum, then I'll get an accuracy buff for my Exsanguinate. But he does hit the Flagellum regardless. Oh, but I don't get to actually hit for enough. It is the protection. That's really valuable. That is really valuable. There is still a play in clicking here, but I do not have any more. My Exsanguinate hit chance is decent, but it's not guaranteed. Oh, you know what I want to do here? Oh, it's so greedy. Oh, I want to go for a punish on the Abomination, but it's so insanely greedy. What I will go for instead is just click and go for an Exsanguinate on him. I think this is the best thing I can do right now, because it will bring him down to 0 HP as long as I don't miss, which I don't, thankfully. And he still has both Absolution heals. Oh my god, this save bomb. What was he doing the entire match? Saving his transforms and having the absolutions? What the hell was he doing the entire match? They just not de-stress to him. You know, that's the problem. Oh, that was risky. That was really risky. I think you should have gone for a self-heal there. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I think my doggy not having Crimson Hook and just being like kind of defensive made it so this Abomination just survived way longer than he should have, honestly. Okay, I am a test store here, so it makes sense to get rid of the character with higher chance to... Oh, it feels so good though. But I go for the Jester. I go for the Jester here. Moving his turn, potentially getting a death blow is my best move right now. But I don't get it, sadly. I don't get it. I get whacked again. Okay, he goes for the Beast File, gets the death blow, a little bit of extra stress onto the Jester, and I think this is over. I think this is over. They go for the Dirk Stab, and oh, it's a whiff. And even though I do 0 damage, the stress is enough, and it is GG. So it was really hectic there for a moment, but I beat Colinha, which I didn't mention, but that's most likely a Portuguese name. It just means like small glue. you have a tendency to put like nye at the end of words, like nya and nyo, to make them like a diminutive, like a cute diminutive for them. So that just means like little glue, if you want to see it that way, which is a very weird word to put a diminutive on. But I should have mentioned that at the start of the match, not at the end. But big GG's to my opponent. Hope you all enjoyed today's video. We'll hope to see you all in the live stream for the tournament tomorrow, and I'll see you again another time. Cheers.